Hello, everybody, and welcome back for another show, Kevykev, Kev's Corner. I'm Kevykev, and listen, glad to be with you because I have a special guest today. Man, do we have talent in the area or what? All right, we got somebody who, I tell you, he is on a mission right now, putting down hits, making it happen, getting you ready to go into the holidays here. I want to welcome to the show St. Louis's own Cali Prime. What's up, Cali?
Hey,
how
are you, Ken? Thank you so much for having me.
Man,
glad
great
to be here.
Great to have you. Great to have you, man. And you've got a new EP out, and we should tell everybody we're going to get to hear some of the music during the show here.
Yes.
But you know, you describe your music as pop, but you do it all from R&B to rap to pop. You're inclusive of all music genres.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the influence for myself and probably most people in my generation and anywhere love all music. You know, I think it's hard to gravitate so heavily to one thing that you would only be inspired by one sound. But I love everything. I love all forms. I love all artists for the most part, and I like to experiment and put those things together. And it sometimes comes out maybe more on my bass, so R&B or rap. But yeah, I think it's pop overall. I think it's just, you know, overall good music.
Now, let me get this right. You started your career, I want to say, during the pandemic. Is that correct? When you can? Well, I know you've been doing music a long time, but tell us when everything started for you.
So Cali Prime started, yes, in the midst of the pandemic. I think actually 2020 on the dot, or 2021. During lockdown, I was going through a music shift, a music career shift, and I wanted to make music that I felt was more relevant to the time I was in currently.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of the music I made at the beginning of my career was about things I had been through, and, you know, just really like sappy and sad and just old traumas that you're not trying to get past or heal or anything. And when I wanted to take that next step, I also wanted to reflect that as a whole. So as my moniker was new, my attitude was new, the music was new, you know, so everything just came together so easily. It reflected itself. And once I moved out of that old name, I started looking for names that I wanted to take on, and Callian was always a name I loved. I thought it was a strong name, and Prime is obviously Optimus Prime, and they came together very easily. So.
And so, now with the music, is it something even as a little boy coming up, you always had interest in music?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think as a child, as any child, you hear the radio, you get the parents playing music in the house, you know. But for me, it was all, as everybody knows, it was Michael Jackson. I mean, I didn't know about a lot of things prior to when I was born. I was born in 98. So most of the stuff I consumed was from 98 on. Okay. And I didn't really know about Michael Jackson. So when I found out, you know, my mind was blown. And so that was really the only approach I've ever taken to music, was trying to be as dynamic and outstanding as him. So he's probably my greatest influence.
Oh yeah, well you picked one with the king of pop.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Absolutely. So of course that's why we know you like say you do the pop and
yes.
you're doing the hip hop and R&B. So that's really good. And you were telling me that you put out 11 songs in about a 16-hour span. How do you, you know, that's a lot of work. I mean, how do you get the music cranked out? You know, the quality music like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of work is subjective. Like to me, a lot of work is days non-stop working. You know, but Ryan, shout out to Ryan, Ryan Rhodes, my amazing producer.
Okay.
Ryan, he loves to go, and he loves to go with me, and he loves to push those boundaries, and you know, my creative is never stopping, so he lets me flow, and that flow happens very quickly. And that's how my brain works, how I think. I don't know if you can kind of see how I talk and move. So it helps.
And I know. Tell me about when you're in that creative process too. I mean, is it? I often ask artists like yourself this: is it difficult to say, okay, I'm going to the studio and I'm gonna go create something, or it just kind of happens? How does that work for Cali Prime?
Oh yeah, man, it's amazing. Like I'm writing music, going in the studio. I'm just much like when I am here, or any place that I'm being asked to be, I feel like I'm being asked to be in the studio.
Okay.
I feel like the music is asking me to be a part of it. The beat is asking me to do something to it. So I'm always honored, honestly. I'm very excited and just grateful for the opportunity to create something. And I think that keeps it from being like a chore or very difficult for me to become motivated, because I'm always just eager to see whatever the music has for me and whatever I create out of that. You know?
Well, tell me about this new EP, To the Space You Occupy.
Yes.
Is it 1 and 2? Tell me about that.
That was a creation I made about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. This music has been done for quite a while. It's just tinkering, you know, you always want to make the best product possible. And trying to come up with a title that I thought was great, and then trying to come up with direction that was clear and concise. All that took a little time for me, but ultimately, I just think To the Space You Occupy is a project that I split up into 2 pieces because I think they have a little different moods, a little different attitude. But I think they are just about existing, you know. I think I speak to a lot of emotions and feelings and moods, vibes that people feel by themselves, that they don't often feel with other people. And that's what this is for, you know, when you're by yourself, when there's no one there, when you feel unseen, you know.
It's time to get it going. And your first single on To the Space You Occupy
Yes.
Is Over It.
Yes.
So, tell us about Over It.
Over It is a song, like it sounds, about being tired of putting up with things that you definitely shouldn't be putting up with.
Okay.
Not about crashing norms or trying to be too, you know, militant or revolutionary. It's just really about choosing yourself when that's an option.
Okay.
You know, when it's an option that you see fit and when it benefits you, that you should take that opportunity rather than choosing someone else over yourself. Be over it.
Okay.
You know, and choose yourself.
And usually you kind of have like I guess a message in the music, or sometimes you just kind of let it flow. You might not necessarily have a message. Tell me, how does that work?
Yeah, I think a message just comes. I don't think it's intentional. I don't think I know another way.
Okay.
I'm a writer by trade. You know, as a kid, that was my favorite thing to do, to calm me down, to express myself, was writing and reading. And as I got older, reading became less interesting because I wanted to write more. I wanted to be the thing I was reading, essentially.
So were you that kid that always, you know, when I talk to different artists, interview them on the show, they'll say that you know, people see me always got the pad and the pencil. Was that you? Or I guess now that maybe you had your iPad. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was shy, so no. I was to myself. I had friends, and I would operate in the confines of like being at school. I'm at school, but anything that I was like doing, I kept to myself. So
Okay.
I used to sing in the basement by myself.
Is that by yourself?
Yeah, my mom used to sit at the steps and listen because she knew if she came down, I'd stop.
Okay.
So very shy.
Yeah. So okay. So how'd you get? Well, you know what? I know we're gonna get a break coming up here in just a minute, but I mean, you performing now. You're doing shows. You performed a lot during the pandemic. So
Yes.
you got to tell me.
Small crowds.
Right. You have to tell me how you broke out of this mode of being shy. Because if you were in the basement, and you know, I heard some people sing in the shower. So you sing in the basement.
Yeah, shower too, but you know, high chance of you getting hurt in the shower. So.
All right, you got it. All right, we are visiting with Cali Prime. He's St. Louis's own. He's doing it with his music, and you can catch him. He's all over social media. He's on YouTube. He's on Spotify. He's on Apple Music. He's doing his thing. We're gonna come back and talk more to him about his new EP. And as we go out, you know, we'll play a little bit of it and let you hear some of it. He's got a lot of songs, some great songs. He's gonna tell us about it when we come back. This is Kevykev. It's Kevy's Corner. We'll be coming right back. Welcome back, Kevykev. It's Kevy's Corner, and today our special guest is Cali Prime. He's pop, R&B, hip hop. He's just an artist. He's just doing an artist. He's doing his thing, and he's telling us about his career, his new EP he's got out, and you were about to tell me about the next single, which was.
Tell Me the Truth.
Tell Me the Truth.
Yes.
Tell me the truth about Tell Me the Truth.
Yeah, so that was a single I released, I think about a year ago. It was a very spontaneous song, one of those that Ryan and I kind of cooked up the beat, and we just let it flow. We didn't do too much writing, but I do like to write to make sure that things are perfect, I guess. And that came together really smooth, and it's a really fun, vibey, you could dance to it, you can cook to it, you can relax to it, whatever you're doing,
Okay.
And I think all the music is like that, but that song, as the reason it's a single, is because it personifies that very well. So.
Okay. Tell me the truth, and you obviously you're telling the truth in this song.
It's more so asking. I mean, I'm being honest about how I feel, but it's also, the main question of the song is, how are you? That's kind of my theme as an artist. It's like, how are you? Because I want to know how you are as a person, and just like the theme of this project, I want to connect to you and some of those things that you may not feel necessarily comfortable talking about. So.
Before the break, you told me, you said I like to sing in the basement, but
Yes.
if someone comes on, I'm gonna stop because I'm shy. Now, I like to say, with you performing and me seeing you doing your thing,
Yes.
like you do. Anybody would say, how is he shy? And he's up there on stage performing, doing these things.
I mean, I say that all the time. I mean, I guess I'm not necessarily there anymore. I had a lot of practice. As a kid, I used to cry in public places, doing public performances and speeches. And I guess embarrassed myself, but I never felt embarrassed. I was just so scared, know, and even now, it's just a lot of like talking to yourself, trying to get yourself prepared, trying to make it smaller than it is, just make it what it is. And I think that's helped, just being present, not trying to explode implode, I should say, mid-interview or anything. But it is hard. I mean, I think I'm shaking now. So like.
You don't look nervous.
Good.
You don't look nervous.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, and I was just about to say, so when you go out on the stage, you still get some butterflies? Do you get nervous? I mean, you've been doing it now.
I think singing is different.
Okay.
Talking was really hard. I got to a point where I was an orator, so I did plenty of competitions, and that was hard to get to. But once I got there, I was comfortable. But singing has been so easy once I started.
Okay.
It was hard to get into initially because getting over the thought of singing and performing live. But once I started doing it and doing my own music, that made it more cathartic in a sense. I was like healing and having fun at the same time. So I think that's how I get over it now.
That's how you did that. And you mentioned your producer, Ryan.
Ryan Rose, yes.
Rose, okay. And so you all just kind of are on that same page, the creativity, y'all kind of feel each other and.
Yeah, I would say we're very different, but we're, collaborative. I think that's the best part about us. It's like we're not super similar.
Okay.
But I love him like a brother, obviously, and I hope he shares the same sentiment. He seems to.
I'm sure he does.
But we're just creative people, and we don't hold each other back. Like, he doesn't want to see me not do that run or not rap on that pop song or whatever, and I don't want to see him not try that thing or put the dog barking in the song or whatever it is, because I believe in us, and and I know about us as well more than I believe in us. I know what we can do and what we're capable of and what he's capable of, so I think that's how we get there. We just push.
Let's push each other.
Push each other and don't hold each other either. Just let us go, let us flow, essentially. We flow well.
That's it. So what's up next too for you? What's coming up next?
More music. I really want to do some live performances, especially in St. Louis. Not necessarily like with a crowd and everything, but just like there's these things that people performing live. I'm sure people have seen it.
Yeah.
Where it's you're outside, you're singing your song. There's nobody around, but you get to sing your song. I would love to do some St. Louis venues, some St. Louis backdrops. Some network things, whatever, and I would love to share that with the fans, and so they can hear me live, especially if I'm not performing anywhere that is booked or
Do you find yourself putting a lot of St. Louis in your songs, or getting nasty? Do you have any songs? That you
I do. I have "Get In." I mean, that's an explicit song, so that's
oh, we can't play that one.
that's not a song for radio, but I do.
But it emphasis has a St. Louis flavor to it.
I guess I don't put too much like St. Louis 314 in my music. That song "Get In," the first line is about St. Louis.
Okay.
STL repping.
Okay.
But for the most part, I always talk about St. Louis. I love St. Louis. I am from St. Louis, and I rep for it anywhere I go, anywhere I am. And I do want to be a beacon of hope for people that want to just stand out and don't want to be a part of something. I'm like, yeah, we just stand out in St. Louis. Like,
Yeah.
You have Sexy Reg, you got Smino, you got Nelly, you got myself.
Yeah.
We just stand out. Like, we're not in a box. We're not trying to recreate anything. We're just innovators here. So.
Innovators.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned Michael Jackson. So on the hip hop side, who did you really like to listen to? Coming up, who did you enjoy listening to?
Okay, so growing up, I wasn't allowed to listen to rap.
Oh, really?
Yes, but my dad let me get a couple people in. Outkast, so Andre and Big Boy.
Okay.
Huge influences. I love them so much. And DMX. Not being allowed to listen to rap and then listening to DMX on the low,
So now I'm just curious. You weren't allowed to listen to rap.
Yes, yes.
Was this even in high school? It was like this?
I mean, I kept them throughout high school because I didn't know a lot of rap, so I held very tightly to the things that I did get to listen to. But then Kendrick Lamar, I mean, I think Kendrick is the greatest rapper of all time. But Kendrick Lamar, my dad started introducing me to more as I got older. So Ice Cube, LL Cool J.
Okay.
I think all those guys are killer. But then Drake, J. Cole, Mac Miller, rest in peace to Mac Miller. I think Mac Miller is amazing.
Yeah,
So.
you got quite a list there. I know our producer Ed here when you said you start talking about Ice Cube and
absolutely.
Lamar. I know they're on his list. There too.
Absolutely, they're great.
And we just, of course, a year ago we wrapped up the 50 years of hip hop. I'm just kind of put you on the spot. Give me your top 5.
Oh yeah! Oh my goodness! I've always wanted to answer this question. This is amazing.
Because I could say top 10, but I'm just
top 5.
Okay.
Top 5 is great.
Okay.
So I would say no. I'm gonna put an order because I don't care.
Okay.
I would say Kendrick Lamar number 1, obviously. Number 2, I would say probably Drake. 3, Mac Miller because I love Mac Miller, and then DMX and Andre 3000.
Wow.
I think would, but I would say Outkast because I can't say Andre without Big Boy. I think that's sacrilegious. So yeah, Outkast for sure.
You gotta, like you said, Andre 3000 and Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, that's interesting. You didn't put any Snoop Dogg in there with Drake, huh?
That's easy to do.
Did you say Dre or Drake?
Drake.
Oh, Drake. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought you said Drake.
See,
Okay, Drake. Okay.
Yeah, I think Dre would probably make a top 10 list. So is Snoop.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's a hard list to do. But I think those 5 are pretty locked in for me, for sure.
Yeah.
I think in terms of influence all the time, if I just had to go off the top of my head, those 5 forever.
Okay.
For sure.
And you mentioned DMX too, so
yes.
You're a DMX fan.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Lose my mind up in here.
Yeah, man. I mean, and I have a song called Blunt Force Trauma. Again, explicit, so you have to.
What's it called again?
Blunt Force Trauma.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I can imagine that one. Then blunt.
Yeah,
force
so it's like a hit banger, but it's got a lot of that energy, of like going crazy, losing your mind, and trying to keep it cool. So.
Gotcha. All right, Cali Prime. All right, so we're gonna take one more time out, come back, and we'll wrap up the show with Cali Prime. Listen, you can catch him. That's Cali, CALI. Prime, Cali Prime. You can catch him. He's on all the social medias. He's on YouTube. He's on Spotify. He's on Apple Music and Instagram. Did I leave anything out?
You got it. The name B Cali on Instagram.
B Cali.
Yes, the name B Cali.
All right. Okay, that's Cali Prime. Kevykev. Kevy's Corner. Take a time out. We'll be back. Good flavor. That really nice song.
Thank you so
really
much.
You are an independent artist.
Yes, I am.
So tell me what all that entails, and as an independent artist, how that works for you with your music, your booking. How does that all work together?
So, an independent artist, at least in St. Louis, for myself, means that most of the load that is taken on in terms of marketing, promoting, booking, cover art, everything is really in-house. So myself, my amazing manager, Kay, she does a great job of...
Yeah, Kay does. We know Kay.
Absolutely, yeah. She booked this interview, you know, she's amazing.
Right.
Genuinely, and life would be really difficult without her. I mean, there's a lot that needs to be done, and even though you're independent, it makes more sense for you to have like 15 people at your disposal, because it's such a big job for one person, 2 people to take on. But being in St. Louis, you know, I've got a lot of connections. The high school scene is very popular in St. Louis. You know, where'd you go to high school? Where'd you, you know,
yeah,
so
where'd you go to high school?
I actually ended up going to Lutheran St. Charles. So shout out Lutheran St. Charles and St. Peter's.
Yeah, we know about them.
Yeah.
Good basketball programs.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah, Ed and I, we've done some games there. They've had the young lady, the great shooter out there.
Yeah, they're
the boys,
phenomenal.
Boys and the girls teams.
The girls teams have been phenomenal for years. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, with that system and that entire network in St. Louis/St. Charles, it's been less challenging to find an audience, for people to support, for people to listen, and that's really propelled the streaming aspect, the sales aspect, the merchandising aspect, has made it a lot easier for us to promote, you know, word of mouth and things like that. Whereas I think if we were starting from scratch, I mean, I don't know anybody, I don't know anything, I think that would have been really difficult. Actually, one of my buddies from school, shout out Keith, he was the reason that I got into music in the first place. Actually started recording. I was making music myself, but he was the person that had the studio, him and his brother Allery, and Quan and Albert. Shout out the guys, you know, UDTG, you know.
That is shout outs.
They're the guys that got me started, you know, and that was the reason that I got so entrenched in the St. Louis scene, and that's the only way that I've actually been able to maneuver in St. Louis. And I think that's probably everybody's story, really.
Yeah. So let me ask you this as we wrap things up here with Cali Prime. 5 years now, where you see Cali Prime, what do you want to be doing? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Oh, man. The question, right? 5 years from now, I want to be happy.
Okay.
I want the people around me to be happy. I want my music to be a staple of St. Louis, if nothing else, you know, hopefully the world. But if nothing else, I really do want to be played and loved and enjoyed by St. Louisans. And I think in 5 years we'll have that accomplished, and hopefully even more. So.
All right, great. Do you, and I know you love home, and of course I know you're looking to spread your love and your talent all over.
Yes.
Sometimes we often hear that your toughest critic, your toughest place is at home. But what are your thoughts on that?
I think people feel that way because you are here. You're trying to build the foundation here. Anywhere you're trying to set foundation is difficult. I think that's the only reason. I've never found any real, push against my success. You know, I've had people flake, I've had people cancel, I've had people say they're going to do things. You know, that's the industry though, and that's life. I mean, more so than the industry, it's just how things are. And people have been very supportive. I've got a lot of fans off rip. You know, a lot of people complain about how hard it is for them to get started and how hard it is for them to create a fan base and maintain it. And it's been very seamless for me to transition from not making music to making music, and I think that was only because of, you know, the amazing people that I have around. So
absolutely. Well, I tell you what, Cali Prime, we appreciate you so much. Continued success to you.
Thank you so much.
And again, anybody they want to book you or catch your show or connect up with you, tell them how they can get in contact with you, Cali Prime.
Cali Prime, the name be Cali on, I believe, all socials. Wordsmith Lee on TikTok. You know, come and find me. Look me up at Cali Prime on all streaming platforms, and I'll be there. So
you can find me at Cali Prime. All right. Big shout out to your manager Kay for doing a great job.
Shout out. She's amazing.
She is amazing. All right. That's Cali Prime. Get out there, support him. He's one of our own St. Louis artists. He does it with pop, hip hop. He's doing the R&B. support him there. Cali Prime. Look out for him, y'all. He's up and coming, and he's really doing some great music and great work right here in the area, okay? That's going to wrap things up for this edition of Kevy's Corner. I'm Kevykev. Big shout out also to Ed Grider, our producer, who makes this all happen for us. Cali gets us on there just like Kay does for you. Ed makes it happen for
That's
you
right.
too.
Ed's awesome.
He is awesome. He definitely is awesome. All right, and so we'll talk to you next time on Kevy's Corner. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on our YouTube channel as well. Stay up to date. We'll talk to you next time.